lady who was that far as a Republican, and I was that far as a Democrat. But we were best buddies. Because you know why? Both of us agreed that the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, they do not have words of eternal life for us as Christians. That we could sit and talk about issues. And I'd say, yeah, you know, that's right. And then she'll look at some of the things that the Democrats do, and she said, you know, that's right. That's how we're supposed to. Reconciliation. Don't look at who is saying what. Look at what is right for the people. And not just say, I'm going to ban everybody as one thing because I belong to this party. You know, I look at people and, you know, I say, that's wrong, and, you know, it's not going to go. But as long as people stick to their guns and believe everything that is said about that other person that's bad or that other person, we're not going to make it. And I was telling my Christian friends, I said, as Christians, we're supposed to make the world a different place. I said, with the billions of Christians in the world, why do you think people are not going to church anymore? So if you're rude out there on the street, and then brother, you say to me, hey, I want to invite you to my church on Sunday, and I'm saying, I beg your pardon? If you're this rude and mean, and you go to church, why should I go to church? You see what I'm saying? Why should I go to church? I mean, if you're rude and mean and saying all nasty things, I shouldn't be going to church. That's why I say to Christians, we are the ones who have to challenge our leaders. If they're doing something that's not right, and we say, no, that's not right. You can't call a bunch of people this, you cannot say this. We have to be the ones to stand for justice. But in most cases, as churches, sometimes we sit back. And there the world struggles out there. And then we want people to come to church. Hey, Brother Kerry, come to church. And you're like, okay, for what? Huh? For what? Why should I come to church? How's that going to change my life? You see people struggling there. I mean, like I say, with the way we sometimes live our lives, we make people feel very hopeless. And we fight for reconciliation and justice, sometimes in many different ways. Our congregation there, St. Barnabas, gives food away once a month. I'm out there on Saturday morning, 7:30 to let them into the building so they can sit down. When there's someone who needs money for an x-ray, I take that out of my own pocket. When someone needs a ride to a doctor, I take them to the doctor. Small scale things, changing people's lives, doing God's justice in our world. So I'm going to have you see what you wanted more to be covered, and then we can talk about that.
Before we open it up, I was going to give you, because we've been reading on these themes for half a semester now, reconciliation, race, Southern history. I'm wondering if you might first want to ask us a question before we open it up for questions and conversations. Is there anything that you might ask this group of graduate students from diverse walks of life?
Yeah, I really like it when you know, you hear some of my white friends say, not my friends, you know, we hear some people say, white people say, oh, I have a lot of black friends. I'm not a racist, I have a lot of black friends. What in the world does that mean?
That's a good one. Anyone want to tackle that one?
Well, just that
Paul has a black friend that he'd like to tell us about.
I have heard that if you can count your black friends, you're a racist.
Yeah, it's just
Or you live in Utah.
Either
How
way.
about that?
yeah, it's I'm not a racist, and and so I want you to think about a situation where you have allowed yourself to be uncomfortable for the sake of someone of a different race. Because I cannot change how I look, and I don't want to change how I look. I was doing youth group ministry at St. Matthew's downtown, where it's about 99.9% white. Okay, so there's this teenage boy. We're going out on a camping thing, and he's got like something black thing here. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe from a tree or something. And so I looked at him. I said, "Son, what's that on your skin?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "Listen, it's too late to try to be black, okay? Just stay white." And he was just like, But I cannot walk away from being black. I cannot. You can go with me on those riots, not riots, on those marches and everything. But at the end of the day, I gotta go back to where I'm from, and in most cases where I'm not safe. And you can go over there where you're safe. The shooter at Mother Emanuel, he could pick me out from the crowd. That's the one I want to kill because they're black. Even if you are so liberal here, but just because of your skin color, you're safe. And I was looking at that Greensboro thing in North Carolina. Just when people are intentionally going out there to do harm to others, and kind of like, that's okay. I've had churches. I went to a church in Michigan. I didn't know this before I went to that church for a meeting, where about 90% of the members were members of the KKK. And so when they had their meeting in the local town, and the pastor in the congregation opened the congregation for prayer and reconciliation, the following day, she was kicked out.
No way.
And you know what? And our church gave that congregation another pastor. You see what I'm saying? That's not right. It's my church, Lutheran church. That's not right. So think of if you have never been uncomfortable, if you've always stayed in your comfortable zone, whether it be black or white or other race, you're not supposed to be doing that. Justice has no color. I mean, I deal with some of the struggles as a parent with my own kids. My son, when he was in middle school, this one black kid would say to him, "Stop acting black because you're not." My daughter could not belong to some of the organizations at her college because she was told she was not black enough. So my life has many lenses. I see evil, I see good. And I know there's so many white people who will give their lives for me, and I know so many have. And so when we look up at truth and reconciliation, we gotta first figure out where we are and what we're gonna do better to change our community. And I said our South African struggle was successful because the whites who had power opened the doors that we could not open. So you guys who are in the power class, I'm banking my life on you. I am banking my life on you because you know the doors you can open. So we can all go in.
Questions or
First of all, thank you.
reactions? Anyone? Please.
Okay, well, I went to an HBCU for 4 years, and maybe 85–90% of the population was black. And when I was getting ready to graduate, my professor asked where I want to go to grad school. So a lot of black students at Claflin go next door to South Carolina State, but they have a largely black population. And I said, I want to go to the College of Charleston. And everybody was looking like, why do you want to go to the College of Charleston? There's nothing but white people. And I was like, I said, because when I was in undergrad, the College of Charleston came to Claflin and they were recruiting so heavily. You know, they were saying you have this great history program, you know, they have a lot of opportunities and resources for you to use. So I took myself out of my comfort zone and I came to Charleston, and in 2 of my 3 classes, I'm the only African American student. And that's the first time that's ever happened to me throughout my all years in school. So I kind of took myself out of that comfort zone, like I said, and made myself uncomfortable because I know at the end this is going to be the best fit for me. And I know I'm going to get a quality education. So I kind of see what you're saying, that sometimes you have to take yourself out of these elements that you feel like this is the only place that I can be so that you can better yourself. Because if I would have went to an all-black grad school, I may have not had the same opportunities I have here. So that was just my one instance.